on August 24, 2010. The Barnes family's lives changed forever. Lorraine was a caring mother of 2 sons, Lobson and Gabethan Barnes, and a loving wife to Johnny Barnes. Their family often stayed active outdoors, and Lorraine's best friend Asher Graves often came with.
Hi, my name's Johnny Barnes. I'm was Lorraine's husband. We had one child together, Lobson, and well, she was my second wife. I loved her dearly. My first wife left me. We don't need to get into that, but I was really in a down part of my life when Lorraine came into my life, and she brought her son, and we really had a nice, just a melded family. And I'm sorry, I can't do this. I'm sorry.
I'm Lobson.
I'm Gabethan.
And yeah, it was just like every other day.
When we went home, we seen a horrible sight.
I assumed she had been killed, so I took charge and I took my brother and my father inside.
When we went home, the door was left unlocked. She never leaves the door unlocked.
She was always an amazing mother, always going above and beyond in the household.
Even though she was my stepmother, she was like a real mother to me. She was a really good mother.
But it would be really hard when there was relentless fighting and arguing.
The boys had found every bit of her death suspicious, and autopsy report confirmed death by fall. Her family demanded investigators to search the house. Detectives found 3 leads, and this suicide story had turned into a murder mystery. We sat down with Detective Connolly to get a better understanding.
This case wasn't easy. In fact, it's surreal to be back in the house, spent hours studying.
Detective Connolly was the one who had found the evidence and spent weeks proving this was no suicide.
Through my search in the house, I noticed shoe prints 3 sizes larger than Mrs. Barnes' feet. I sent evidence pictures to my shoe print examiners, and they calculated the person to be around 5'10". This happens to be the same height as Mr. Barnes and Mr. Graves. I then found what I believe to be the jackpot of evidence: bloody fingerprints. After taking pictures, I sent off a sample of the blood to the blood typing lab.
What they found was shocking. Results came back and they found the blood type to be AB positive. This wouldn't be so shocking if Mrs. Barnes' blood wasn't O negative. The boys both have O negative blood. However, Johnny and Asher both have AB positive blood.
The next step was determining whose fingerprints it was. My latent print specialist team found a total of 15 minutiae that all aligned with suspect number 2, Asher Graves.
Good evening, Mr. Graves.
Good evening.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Start, what was your relationship like with Mrs. Lorraine Barnes?
We were, great friends. Quite close for about 5 years.
And can you confirm that you guys often fought about money?
Yeah, that much is true. I've lent her tons of money, and she just constantly refused to pay me back.
And how much did she owe you?
$100,000.
One more question for you, Mr. Graves. Where were you when this incident happened?
Well, I was at home, of course. There's no way I'm staying out past midnight.
Thank you. That's all for now, Mr. Graves.
Asher Graves was sent to court under the suspicion of the murder of Lorraine Barnes. He pled not guilty, but with all of the evidence against him, the court ruled him guilty of first-degree murder. It's time we learn what really happened to Lorraine Barnes. Graves knew Lorraine's schedule well, allowing him to go unnoticed. Mrs. Barnes had gotten distracted by the dogs and forgot to close the door, allowing Graves to slip in. He then followed her up the stairs where she would make her evening tea. Lorraine then went upstairs, and Graves grabbed a knife from the kitchen. On the rooftop deck, Graves later admitted that he threatened her.
Give me my money, and I won't hurt you.
Why would I do that?
Lorraine Barnes had met her death. In a panic, Graves ran down the stairs, accidentally cutting himself and leaving bloody fingerprints on the railing, and escaping before Johnny and the boys came home. The Barnes family lives were forever destroyed by a senseless act of greed.
I'm laughing. Hold on.
It's so loud.
I know.
Mom, over here.
There's a snake
Over here.
there.
Okay.
Respect. After Graves. Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
Here's an ice cube.
Word.
Cut. Someone's home.
I'll go out to the back porch.
Yes.
So, okay, our mother died.
Wait, can you like introduce yourself?
David in. Let's roll, let's roll.
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing good. I want to mention I'm doing good here.
First off, what was...
We're never going to do this.
I avoided eye contact for so long. Okay.
Okay. Stop smiling.
I almost had it.
You're the bad one here. I'm just gonna avoid eye contact.
Did you think this? To start,